Here, so we have this unique title, and I want to welcome Eldredge in because we had a great conversation the other day, and we had some nice lunch together. So thank you again for
Thank you for having us.
So this is our CEO in training with Pasta Beach, and the story, which I have to make sure that we get this story out there because the concepts and some of the stories that came together to launch Pasta Beach were amazing to me. And we have the Newport location.
Newport, that's on Memorial Boulevard. Then we have the Providence location, which opened in August on Wayland Square, and we have the Boston location, which opened in 2010.
So Newport was the first one, though,
yes,
right?
And that opened in 2001.
So Rhode Island started this out. See how good we are? Rhode Island started this out. So before we get into the wine and pasta, I want to talk just a little bit about the background to get into it, because Pasta Beach is in the name. So obviously we know we're going to be good with the inventive side of this. But tell me a little bit about how it came about and your background. You speak fluent Italian.
I was born here in Providence, but I grew up in Italy because my dad's Italian, my mom's American, and my dad actually is an MD in Italy, and he still lives there.
So he's back and forth.
Yes, he comes back once a month with my mom. Yep, and they are the owners of Pasta Beach. So.
And his mom is anxious for him to take over. So
exactly.
Anxious. And the other brother who's out here who was helping him carry stuff in, your brother designed.
Yep. He graduated from RISD about 2 years ago. And he designed the Providence location. And he is currently designing the new Newport location.
So we're going to talk about that in a second because we're going to get to that. But talk about this little story about, so his father's a doctor. His mom was, they were living in Italy because of that. And where did this come from? Where did Pasta Beach come from?
So the inspiration came from when my parents first met. They had this little restaurant called Intern, and they would always meet there for dinner.
In Italy?
Yes, in Italy. Intern. Torino, Piemonte. They would meet there every night, and they would my mom would order her favorite dish, the spaghetti pomodoro basilico, as we have right here.
Look at that.
And my dad would show up, and he would ask the waiter to have the chef cook whatever the chef wanted that night off the menu. But the initial idea of Pasta Beach actually started here in the US when we would come back every summer in Newport. We have a summer house there. We'd come back every summer, and when we would have family and friends over, we would have to cook something for dinner. My parents are not cooks at all.
Love this.
So my dad would call my grandma in Italy and ask her for very simple recipes. From the spaghetti vongole to a delicious spaghetti pomodoro.
I wish we all had a grandmother to pick up the phone and call Italy.
And he would call my grandma, and my grandma would tell him a recipe and tell him exactly how to cook it.
Over the phone?
Over the phone. So it was very simple recipes, and all our friends would always laugh because they're the easiest everyday recipes, but my parents never really cooked.
But your father was learning this from your grandmother, literally over the phone today.
Exactly. And all our family and friends always loved these dishes, and most of the time it was my dad's first time cooking it. So my dad all of a sudden thought about this idea. Imagine if we found chefs in Italy, brought them over here on visas, and they cooked food. And imagine how good that could be and how much people would love that. Real authentic Italian food.
So every Pasta Beach, and I've got people texting me right now. I've got Sherry just texting me. People text me how much they love Pasta Beach. And another person that just texted me said I've been to all three of them. They're amazing. So every restaurant, not just one of them, every restaurant has these chefs that have come over from Italy. And they run the kitchen.
Yes. Without them, Pasta Beach could not exist.
So I met a couple of the chefs yesterday, and my Italian is horrendous nowadays. But Eldredge was speaking in the Italian, the chef was speaking Italian, your mom was speaking the Italian, and these chefs literally put their creative stamp on each Pasta Beach. So there's segments of your menus that are very inventive because of the chefs and the regions that they come over from.
Exactly.
So let's talk about this pasta just a little bit because it's special. Actually, let's talk about the wine because
the Barbera d'Asti.
So talk about this Barbera.
This is a classic Italian wine, dinner wine. It's an everyday wine, so nothing too complex, nothing too special, but it's just everyday wine that most Italians drink it, and it's the house wine.
And this is a wine that's special to your mom, that your mom
Yes, exactly. Right? She loves it, and she used to get Barbera d'Asti every night when she met my dad. That's at this restaurant. So
cheers.
Cheers to that.
Absolutely delicious. So the menu, and I want to get into this. So the chefs from each region. So give me an example of, let's say the Newport and the Providence one. Where are the different chefs from?
So in Providence we have Augusto, and he is from Tuscany, from Capalbio, exactly. And in Newport, we have Marco Minieri, and he's from Bologna.
From Bologna.
Yes, exactly.
So two different regions, for better, right?
Yep.
So two different regions they're from. So each of them have got an inventive side of pastas that are just on those menus. But then you have pastas that are, if you went, like someone was just saying that they've been to all three, if you have if you go to Boston, or you go to
Yep.
Newport, you go to Providence, there are specific pastas that are on all three menus the
Yes,
same.
and that is the classic pasta beach pastas, and that's the classic. So spaghetti pomodoro, spaghetti aglio olio peperoncino, the spaghetti vongole, gnocchi pesto, tagliatelle bolognese. So those are the classic pastas, the very simple everyday pastas.
But then
And-
those chefs
Yep, exactly.
can add what, 3, 4, whatever more they want
Exactly.
from their inventive
Mhm.
side to it.
So every chef from the specific region will have specific plates that is what inspires them, and that's the pastas they'll have. So an example of that would be the pisci al aglione, and that's a Tuscany dish. And that's
Pisci
pisci
aglione.
all'aglione.
Aglione, okay.
Aglione, yep. And that's also a very simple dish. Like all the pasta beach dishes are very simple, everyday dishes that you eat every day in Italy.
And it's extensive.
Yes,
obviously
exactly.
with the name there. But at the restaurant as well, and obviously I'm a pasta fanatic we talked about, but you've also got the ability that I saw in the Providence location, this oven, this wood grilled
Mhm,
oven. That's
yes.
amazing, right?
Yep, the ovens are imported from Italy, so we buy them in Italy and they ship them over.
So you can't get more authentic than that. You got authentic chefs and authentic oven. Now, this pasta was special to your mom, and this is
Yes.
one of the most enjoyable and simple
Mhm.
pastas. So tell me a little bit about this pasta, and this is one that's on all the menus, right?
Yes, this is on every single menu, and it's just simple tomato sauce with just a little bit of garlic, oil, pepper, salt. Just very classic with a little bit of basil too. Very simple, but made right, I think it's one of the best plates
One of
that
the
you
most
can have.
enjoyable,
Yes.
right? So the pastas at all the pasta beaches, there are some that you're getting that the chefs are making, right?
Yep,
And
exactly.
some that they bring in that are Italian
Yeah.
products
Mhm.
that you were telling me
Yeah.
about before.
Yes.
So from that perspective, again, lends to them being able to be inventive
Mhm.
and add to these different
Yeah.
things to do it. So is the pasta there that's coming in, when the chefs are making it, are they making it fresh each day when they're doing it, or?
No, so we have some specials that have fresh pasta.
Okay.
But we do have Italian imported pasta for fresh pasta, and even the spaghetti, which is the dry pasta. So
Yeah.
spaghetti penne, that is the dry pasta, and that's the everyday pasta in Italy.
Gotcha.
So that's what you eat every day. And then there's the fresh pastas, which are a little bit more special occasions and yeah.
So someone just texted me, and I know
Okay.
I asked you this before.
Yes.
The question I just got was, you do have gluten-free products as
Yes,
well,
we
right?
do.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and I know this is
We
becoming a
currently
big-
actually added gnocchi, gluten-free gnocchi
Gluten-free
in the
gnocchi?
Providence location.
Molly and Kate, did you hear that? Gluten-free gnocchi.
Yes.
So
But
we get cheers in the back.
We do have gluten-free penne and spaghetti.
Wonderful.
Yes.
All right. So now we've got some news that I want to make sure that we share. We've got in the space in Providence. There's something that you guys are going to be adding that's much
Yes.
needed in Providence.
Yep.
So
We
talk
do have a
about
little
that.
convention space up above on the second floor of Providence, and that's about 50 to 60 guests.
That's going to be opening up soon. That you're going
Yes.
to be able to do book these
Mhm.
private
It's actually
parties.
currently open.
It's open.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
we
excellent.
have had some graduation parties.
And this is a space that your brother helped design to get that
Yes,
started up.
he
there.
actually designed the whole location, all of
Wonderful.
Providence.
So this is one of the things that I know that I get a lot of questions about, is that can places hold private events, private parties, and it's much needed in Providence. So that's a big thing for you to check out, that if you're looking for that space, 50 or 60 people is a great number to be able to do. And then for your signature location, or your location that kind of started it all out in
Newport,
Newport.
yes,
So
exactly.
talk about Newport, because there's people talking about that this Newport location is going to close on a bigger, newer one. So let's talk about
Yes,
that.
so we just bought a building on the boulevard,
Mhm.
right across the street, so it's about 2-minute walk from the current
From
one.
the current location,
Yes,
okay.
current. And it's under construction right now, and it should open in September.
So you're going to make it through the
It
summer
is,
of this one,
yes,
and then the
exactly,
following. Okay.
yes. It's a little bit bigger, but we're trying to keep the same feel to it.
Okay.
We don't want to lose that feel that Pasta Beach has.
And so to go, and I think people will believe you when they know you're
Yeah.
going to stay authentic when you're going to do that. So one of the things I want to say about Eldredge that's great is that, yes, he's young, yes, he's got all the great looks going for him, and he speaks Italian,
Thank
but
you.
this guy has been through everything that
Yeah.
I've learned. He's been literally a busser, he's
Mhm.
washed dishes, he's had to help out in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
and then he had to manage last summer the Boston location
Yes.
on your own to go out and
Mhm.
take it.
Yep.
So this is one of those things where people coming up in the industry and being authentic to not only your heritage, but your trade, and your degree was in hospitality,
Yes,
right?
exactly. I graduated about a week ago.
A week ago. So he's literally the CEO in training with his mother, and she's done a wonderful job with you. So congratulations
Thank you.
to both of you. Now, question is, what's going to happen with the current location that Pasta Beach is in Newport?
What do you?
So the location that you're moving
Yes.
out of
Yep.
and going into.
Oh, we're thinking about opening more of a new concept. That's
A
a little,
new concept.
a
So
new
you're hearing this here, a new
yes,
concept.
New concept.
All right.
It's something that I've been coming up with, and with my dad and my mom, of course. And it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a twist off of Pasta Beach. It's still going to be very Italian.
Okay.
It's going to be an Italian, more of a fast food now. More of a street food
Ah.
kind of concept.
So this is the promise that we have to get from Eldredge, is that when you've got this concept flushed out and ready to go,
Yes.
you're going to come back here and he's going to launch the concept
Exactly.
with us, right?
I will be back.
All right, so he's going
Yes.
to come back to launch that new concept.
Mhm.
So this has been fantastic. I appreciate you taking
Thank
the
you.
time.
Yep.
I know that you've been crazy since you got out of school, and I know you're going back and forth to Italy and helping your mom
Yep.
out and doing these things. But thank you for coming in, and congratulations truly to
Thank
your
you.
entire family, because you guys have done a well job.
Mhm.
So thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
me today. I think this might get devoured when you bring that out there. So